we'll start this over. We'll call this meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. And I want to acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory and that the land on which we are meeting is the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. As a council and a municipality, we will continue to work on moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. I'll ask for a motion for the adoption of the minutes, please.
Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held at City Hall on February 12th, 2024 be adopted as circulated.
Moved by Councillor Massey. Seconded by Councillor Doyle. All those in favor? And that's carried. He put his hand up very early, so sorry. Okay, I'll collect myself. We have no delegations this evening. We have no public hearings. We'll move right into Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee has no report for Council this evening.
Thank you. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. City Planning and Economic Development Committee has nothing at this time on the agenda.
Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just one item, and that is the appointment of Municipal Noxious Weeds Inspector and Sub-Inspectors. It is a requirement of the Noxious Weeds Act that every municipality annually by March 1st appoint a Municipal Noxious Weeds Inspector and or sub-inspectors and notify Crop Industry Development of Manitoba Agriculture of the appointments. These appointees carry out the provisions of the Noxious Weeds Act. Brian Taylor, Superintendent of Public Works, will be appointed the city's inspector for 2024, and Kyle Troop, Lionel Brown, and Adam Carpenter will be appointed sub-inspectors. It is the administrative recommendation, and I so move, that in accordance with Section 11 of the Noxious Weeds Act, Council of the City of Portage la Prairie appoint Brian Taylor as the city's Noxious Weeds Inspector, and Kyle Troop, Lionel Brown, and Adam Carpenter as sub-inspectors, and further, that notice of these appointments be conveyed to Manitoba Agriculture.
Moved by Councillor Espy, seconded by Councillor Doyle. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? And that is carried. Waterworks Committee, Councillor Porter.
Your Worship, Waterworks Committee has nothing to report in Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Transportation has nothing to report in this portion of the Council meeting.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Public Safety Committee has no report this evening.
Thank you. We have no items of deferred business. We'll move right into new business. We have January building reports. City Planning and Economic Development, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. Being in this chair for the last 6 years, I've had more than one opportunity to be able to speak to our building reports. And again, I repeat the excitement that it does bring me when I see this. I mean, when I see our town and our community and our region doing what it's doing, and the proof is the shovel in the grounds and the building permits go with it. So first of all, congratulations and thank you, obviously, to not only our PRED organization, but obviously our planning district for their work in doing it. As usual, Council, you'll have two reports in front of you. One is for the city and one is for the RM. I always refer to the combined report because we do treat it as a regional perspective. And the report is in there for you. Obviously, it's just the first month of the year for January of 2024. But if you do look, although permits are down, you're going to see due to one large project that's taken place in the RM, which is roughly $11.5 million, you'll see that there's some commercial development. So comparables, 10 permits last year with only 1.1 million in values compared to 8 permits this year with 15.8 million. If there's any questions from council, if there's none, that is my report.
Thank you, Councillor Meyer. We have no items of old business, so we will adjourn council at 6:06 p.m. and move right into committee. I'll call committee to order at 6:06 p.m. and move into Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. I have two issues for committee this evening. The first one is in your package. It'll be looked at and approved at the next council meeting, but it's the review and approve the external audit service plan for completion of the 2023 financial and consolidated financial statements. And as you know, we have engaged BDO as our external auditors to provide our audit process and to review the city's financial processes and prepare the audit for our council. So I'm not going to read all of the briefing material here. Basically, at next month's council meeting, we will approve this document, but it's here for your information and your review until the next council meeting. But if there's any questions, I'm sure our administration could answer any detailed questions about the audit plan. But it's no changes basically from last year's audit plan.
Any questions for Councillor Massey? No? You had another item?
Yes, Your Worship. Colleagues, as you know, we committed very much after the last budget to have some information and videos made for the public to basically understand our budget. It's a long document, and tonight I'm pleased to advise that our staff have prepared the first video. So we're getting the first look at this of our budget. So I'm going to ask Jen Sadney, our Director of Corporate Services, to run the very first video of our 2024 budget.
Just before you do, Jen, just for those who are watching on YouTube or maybe on Shaw TV tonight, if you can't see this, not to worry, you'll be able to find it on our social media after.
Hi everyone, Joe Massey here, Councillor for the City of Portage la Prairie and Chair of Finance. On February 12th, Council put forward their 2024 budget plan in our annual budget speech. You can see the entire speech in the link below this video. I am personally really excited about our budget. If you have a couple of minutes, I'll provide a quick overview of what is in this budget and how it will impact you as a community member and ratepayer. Our budget is structured to drive forward our key priorities in our strategic plan. I will be creating other short videos that feature these strategic priorities and how Budget 2024 moves our community forward. However, in this video, I want to highlight how Budget 2024 will impact you, the ratepayer. (2024) is not a general assessment year. If the assessed value of a property has not changed, owners can expect to see the municipal portion of their property taxes increase by 1.74%. This proposed budget will result in an increase of 1.74% to property owners' municipal taxes, substantially lower than the current level of annual inflation. The year-over-year increase for a residential property with an assessed value of $250,000 will be $40.28, which is approximately $3.36 per month. Your final tax bill will be impacted by the province of Manitoba's decisions to discontinue issuing rebate checks for the education portion of your property taxes. In 2024, you will see the rebate applied directly to your tax bill. We will be sharing more information on this soon. We are expecting to complete our 2024 financial plan by April. And after a public hearing to approve this document, submission to the provincial government will occur. Your tax bill will be mailed to you by early June. And as usual, we will provide you with the various tools to calculate your 2024 taxes in advance on the city's website. In conclusion, I am proud of the teamwork between city administration and city council to put forward a progressive budget that continues to encourage sustainable growth through development of great neighborhoods, to further develop and enhance our recreational and cultural opportunities, green spaces, and expand our active transportation network, investment in community safety and well-being, strong investment in our infrastructure to encourage economic investment in our community, investment in beautification projects to showcase our community, and importantly, respects our citizens' ability to pay in these difficult inflationary times. Again, thank you to my fellow council members and Mayor Knox for your support of this budget. I look forward to accomplishing great things with all of you for our community in 2024. Stay tuned for more videos about our 2024 budget.
There you go. You're right. Even the suspenders are on there, so that was great. I just want to thank our staff, of course, for putting that together. There'll be a few more done, and I hope these are helpful for our public, but just a big thank you, and thank you again to our Mayor Knox and our council for, having a budget that we can now explain to our public, and I think really be proud of. So, but thanks for these videos to our staff. I think they're great.
Well done, Councillor Massey. I like it. Any questions or comments for Councillor Massey? Councillor Doyle?
I like the video. Whoever put it together, it simplifies things for people who don't pay close attention to this on a day-to-day basis. The part I don't understand is how much height being on TV added to you there, Joe.
Yeah. It's awesome. Mr. Pito?
If I may, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank our staff who worked on the video, so that our communications coordinator, Kathy McGregor, and then Mandy Costley, who is actually backgrounds in GIS, but she has a knack for animation, so she has taken that on and she's done a great job. So thanks to both those staff.
All I can think about is our strategic plan and our facilitators and how proud they'll be of us when they see this video of different types of communication. So well done. Okay, thank you. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. Although I have nothing on the agenda, I just wanted to bring up something that's important, I know, to this council and really falls in line with probably every step of our strategic plan. Part of what we want to do, of course, within the beautification of our committee is we respect our business owners and we respect the community and we respect the investment that they put into their storefronts and so on. And as we, of course, put in the budget there and passed was the 2024 Business Storefront Improvement Grant. And I just really wanted to bring that to the attention, especially with the media, if they can help us get the message out, because I think it's important to this council. It's just one small step of a very, very large budget. The Business Storefront Improvement Grant, of course, intends to help business owners in Portage la Prairie improve the face of the businesses by providing funds for exterior building updates. In addition to improving the appearance of an individual building, these upgrades are expected to contribute to overall business enhancement. The Business Storefront Improvement Grant is a matching grant offered by the City of Portage la Prairie that will provide up to 50% of the project cost, with a maximum municipal contribution of $3,000 per project for a total fund of $15,000. That's up from $2,000 and $10,000 last year, and I know council was it was important to them to invest back into that. Applicants must be a small business, nonprofit, community organization, or cooperative located in a public place within the Main Street area or downtown corridor, Saskatchewan Avenue 2 blocks north and south of Saskatchewan Avenue, or on Provincial Highway 240 within city limits. For anybody that's got some questions, follow the link to download the 2024 Business Storefront Improvement Grant Notice, eligibility criteria, and application form. I do want to point out that the deadline is coming up relatively quickly. It does come up Monday, April the 15th, 2024. Successful applicants will be notified by Friday, April 19th, 2024, and projects must be completed by December the 6th of 2024. I just want to recognize our incredible partnership with the Portage District Chamber of Commerce as we work with this, because completed applications can be submitted to the Portage District Chamber of Commerce, info at Portage District Chamber, or of course to the City of Portage la Prairie as well. I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and Madam Mayor, through you to our City Manager Nathan Pito, if there's anything I missed or anything that, I would certainly appreciate you filling in any of the blanks.
Through your worship to Councillor Meyer, no, I think you covered that very well. The only thing I'll mention is if your business happens to be 3 blocks from Saskatchewan Avenue or just outside the area, don't hesitate to put in an application. Sometimes the program is undersubscribed. It hasn't been recently, But we do take a close look if we can work with partners just outside of that priority area if there is additional funds. Properties inside the priority area obviously will receive priority.
Unless there's any other questions or anybody that has a committee seat that involves economic or city planning, that's the end of my report.
I'm just going to follow up on, or just on this storefront improvement. I would just encourage council or anybody around the table that, you know, sometimes we think that our people see these on our social media or everybody reads Portage online, which they should, but they might not. And if you know of any businesses or you think that might be interested in this program, we can always print them off and pay a little visit to their business to explain the program to them, just to get, because I think sometimes that helps and give them some encouragement. Councillor Massey?
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. And just following up with Councillor Meyer, the mayor and our city manager and myself met with the chamber as part of our monthly meetings. So I think this falls under your committee. And we went through the budget with them, and you'll notice in today's Portage Online a very positive reaction by the chamber to our budget. I think that was really positive for our community, for the business community to see that statement. And I think that just shows our ongoing collaboration with them every month and explaining to them what we're doing at the city, and they felt they should put the statement out about our budget. So I think that was a great to see that in Portage Online recently.
Thank you. And just one more comment that I have in under this portfolio is the last week I think it was last week, we attended the unveiling of the tourism, I don't know what it's, strategy, is that right? Impact assessment. And I just want to give a shout out to Pred and the Portage Tourism Committee for that, and also the consultants involved, and as well as Tourism Manitoba. It was a very insightful event, and it was really nice to put some dollars to things. And I consider myself quite versed on tourism, and I do. I think about how it can impact, and some of the information there was things that I never even thought about how tourism impacts our community, and especially when it came to employment, right? It wasn't just the jobs in tourism, but it was when you talk about your restaurant and the supplies that are in the restaurant, and having a active, busy restaurant, there's jobs where people have to restock those supplies. Like, it just took it right down to the nuts and bolts of it. And I found that very informative. And I think, I hope that that message just keeps spreading out for people to understand having a thriving tourism, whatever way it is great for your community and region. So thank you to your office for that.
And that's everything, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. There's nothing on the agenda tonight, but I would welcome any of my colleagues that have anything related to community services.
Just a comment that our youth counselor had to leave her position, and so we just wanted to publicly thank Aparajita Sarkar for her time. We enjoyed definitely the youth council event that she put on at PCI, and I think we made some connections there. So we wish her well. We will be looking to our next year's youth counselor and applying or reaching out to our schools the end of May, early June to get somebody ready to go for September 2024. So, anyone else? Councillor Massey?
Thank you, Your Worship. I just want to report to Council. I had the privilege on behalf of Mayor and Council to bring greetings to two events, that provincial events that our city once again was able to host and showcase our lovely community. One was the greetings I brought to the Masters Curlers Championship across Manitoba at the Canad Inn. The criteria here, you have to be over 60, so I qualify, but I'm not a curler, so I guess I was able to at least bring greetings on behalf of our council. But a great event and some great curling, and just another example, and we were a sponsor as well as a city, so it was great to be there. And the other one that I really enjoyed was bringing greetings to the under 11 female provincial championships at our beautiful rec center. And it was quite amazing to see all those young girls and how many teams, and to see hockey so taken on now by young girls and women. It's amazing, the sport. When I started coaching 25 years ago, very few females were playing hockey, and to see, I believe there was at least 15 teams there, was amazing. So on behalf of Mayor and Council, I brought greetings there, and it was great to see that championship here in Portage la Prairie.
Thank you. Councillor Meyer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And just to add on to that, I as well was fortunate enough to be able to bring greetings to an organization that met here, and it kind of falls on the back of not only our tourism, but our event tourism or sport tourism, but the event tourism. We actually had the Lions Club that met in Portage, and the only reason I bring it out is because of the significance of the gathering. It was their winter convention, but it brought in people from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Northwestern Ontario, and Minnesota. So there was over 100 delegates here that met in Portage la Prairie and had a chance to check out our facilities, check out all of some of the tourism sites and so on that we had, and be able to have a meeting. So it just goes to show you that Central or Portage la Prairie is a central meeting place, and I really respect these things and see them going further. So I as well was able to bring greetings, which I really appreciated, and it was really good to see the participation. So thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Just one last thing that we participated in was Mr. Pito and I participated in the Warriors in Recovery march or walk that took place earlier this week, last week. Today's only Monday. Sorry. So what that event was is it was raising awareness to the fentanyl crisis in our community and in our region, and the challenges faced by individuals who are recovering from a drug addiction. It was for a community our size, it was a very well attended walk. I think it really shed light on what a major serious issue this is. And so happy to support that and happy to help bring awareness, and just wish them well on all of their upcoming events and support groups and all that they do to try and help people find a way to recovery. So well done, Warriors in Recovery. Okay, Waterworks Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Worship. Attached, you'll find the 2023 Wastewater Division and Biosolids Annual Report. Each year, a report detailing the performance, operation, and maintenance activities of the Water Pollution Control Facility and the wastewater collection and conveyance system is prepared and submitted. Once accepted by the City Council, the report will be filed with the Manitoba Environment and Climate Change, as well as posted on the City's website for public access. A summary report of the annual land application of biosolids is also required to be submitted, so both are attached as a separate document for your viewing. Okay, and then, sorry about that. And under 5.2.2, as well as there are two other reports, and that is, this is the annual public water system report that's submitted and required by the Manitoba Conservation and Climate Change Environment Stewardship Division. It is submitted and will be available publicly. Once accepted by City Council, the report will be posted on the city's website. That's my report.
Thank you. And we'll see those in council next meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Worship.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Transportation Committee has nothing to report in this portion of the pardon me, sorry. I have nothing to report, but I do have a question. If that's okay, Your Worship, to the administration.
Sure.
Okay. So as last council meeting, in the public hearing, there was some traffic concerns raised over the Dufferin Avenue and Tupper Street intersection. Could administration comment on any past studies in this area, and could you share the results and any of the recommendations?
Mr. Pito?
Thank you, through your worship, to Councillor Porter. We took note of the comments at the public hearing and did look into the past history on that intersection. There was a report actually provided to council in 2018. In that report, they did a traffic review, traffic counts on that intersection, also reviewed if there had been any accidents. In that report, I believe there had been one accident in the last 2 years in 2018. We actually reached out to the RCMP, and since 2021, so for the last 3 years, there's also only been one accident. One of the considerations put forward, I think, by the presenter was consideration of a four-way stop. That was reviewed in 2018 and was reviewed again by operations. They don't believe that is the best way to move traffic along that Dufferin corridor. There's actually a stop sign at the next oncoming block. There was also concern about vegetation around that intersection, and administration and operations will keep an eye on that. There's some tree branches that can block the sign that they are responsible for trimming, and there's some hedges that they'll also keep an eye on as we get into the summer. So at this time, we're not recommending any changes to that intersection, but we will keep an eye on it and also continue discussions with the RCMP.
Thank you. And I just have one other question here. And any traffic violations that were the root cause of the accidents, those persons were penalized for that?
Just as through your worship to Council Porter, in terms of if there was an accident and someone had run the stop sign, were they given an infraction for that?
Yes.
I'm not sure if I'm entirely clear on that. I would assume that is the case. But again, yes, there is a stop sign. So if you're in an accident, you're running it, you have committed an infraction. So I believe that's probably likely.
Yes, considering if you were found probably at fault. Okay, thank you. So I just have another comment that going east on Dufferin Avenue for 4th Avenue, and remember that Dufferin starts at 4th Avenue. You're clearly going through a school zone as well, till shortly before 1st Street, and there is a two-way stop on Tupper Street. And I note at this time that there is nothing blocking the view so far of the stop signs for anyone driving down Tupper. And so thank you, Mr. Pito, for that information. And in the future, if anybody sees anything that may prohibit the visibility of the stop sign, to call operations or to submit a service request. Thank you. That's my report.
And slow down. Perfect. Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would just like to ask administration for an update on the current CSO program, if I may.
Mr. Pito?
Through your worship to Councillor Doyle, obviously community safety is one of council's strategic priorities, and a big part of that priority is the implementation of the CSO program. I think the public would have noticed that we posted our call for applications for that position. 2 positions have been offered, and those 2 employees are now in training in Brandon to become certified community safety officers. So that's moving forward. Administration's continuing to procure vehicles, equipment, uniforms, and an office space. It is the intention of the program to be very visible on our Saskatchewan Avenue, so we're looking to procure office space. And the intention is to have officers on the beat in June, going down Saskatchewan Avenue and developing positive relationships with our business community and also our social services agencies.
Excellent.
Great, thank you. And I just have one other thing to mention here. Tomorrow, Mayor Knox, City Manager Pito, and myself are going to Saskatoon to meet with other municipalities from across the country about the crime severity index and how it affects us here in Portage la Prairie. So this is a first of its kind sort of summit. So I look forward to seeing what we learn and what we're able to share and come back to council with and see where it goes from there. Maybe an annual thing. Hopefully not. You know, it'd be nice to not have to talk about this, but it's something that's going to be discussed this week, and I look forward to coming back to council with the feedback.
Thank you. Anyone have anything else? Just a quick comment is, as we know, our position of deputy mayor is a rotating position, and so this is Councillor Meyer's last meeting as deputy mayor. And I just want to thank you for your time in that position. I thank you for stepping into deputy mayor roles for me when you needed to, and I appreciate that. And yeah, so thank you for your service. I don't know what to say for that. And our next deputy mayor moving into position will be Councillor Porter, starting on March the 1st. So we will adjourn committee meeting at 6:31 p.m. Have a great evening, everyone.